Hi Leo, welcome to your September 2020 reading. Thanks for joining me. My name's Michelle. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. Leo, straight up, this could be one for the cross watchers, or it could be you, especially if you have recently done something that you regret. So getting that out of the way, let's look at the energies around this, because it feels somewhat dark. I do have the spirit animal here of the black swan. We've got the 9 of swords attached to this. So it is about anguish, dealing with that shadow side, and giving something time. There's a healing kind of energy around this reading, especially with the Hanged Man there. Time, I feel like time. Now, Page of Swords is your energy here, Leo, so it may be that you are... I feel this is more about you looking at something, looking at someone, vigilance. I'm picking it up as vigilance. It seems that you're in a waiting period here, Leo. You know, the 9 of Swords symbolizes an experience of grief, remorse or regret. So I do feel that there's been some kind of action here that's been regretted. I do get a lot of stress here, especially with the Hanged Man as a very uncomfortable position to be in. Anxiety, of course, with that 9 of Swords. So the feeling around this is grief, some dark emotions. But the good news is that this is a learning experience and something that you can carry with you into the future, and hopefully not repeat this kind of thing again. Now, with the Hanged Man, it does speak to me of like torturing yourself over something. Fears, doubts, uncertainty, worrying, making for sleepless nights with that 9 of Swords. The key here is not to let brooding seduce you. You know, this kind of darker energy can really suck us down into this black hole if we let it. You know, it's the thoughts that run through our head, especially at night time, like that record, you know, constantly going over and over the same groove, which makes matters worse. Now, Leo, if this is you and there's something that's happened here that you regret, you can't go back in time, but you can forgive yourself and work towards some transformations in behavior. And with the Hanged Man, it may be in time that this can be healed, whatever this situation is. So let's take a look here, Leo, at what's happened. I'm going to get a card from the Twin Tarot Oracle. The focus here for Leo. I'm going to be doing this kind of free flow, guys, so let's see what comes out for you. The energies around Leo for the month of September, and if this isn't you, it could be someone that you're dealing with, or if you're cross-watching, this could be a Leo that you have recently dealt with. Now, we've got the Chariot here, but it's the dark side of the Chariot. I call this my crazy Uber driver card. If you look at this guy here, he hasn't got control of this chariot. He seems quite beset by something. You know, it feels like a chaotic energy. It feels like spinning out of control, doing very destructive things with that chariot. So not being in control, not being in the driver's seat, so to speak. Now, when we normally talk about the Chariot, it is, of course, a card of being success over obstacles, triumphing over obstacles, success through personal effort, being in control of opposing forces, both within ourselves and with our mind over matter, if you will, and purpose. But when it's in its dark side, it feels like blinkered vision, obsession, imbalance. So the dark chariot represents that negative side of ambition. This charioteer is obsessively driven by whatever is controlling him. Now, it could be a lust for material wealth or power. Could be lust, but he's certainly preoccupied with winning, and he's oblivious to the needs of other people. He tends to ride roughshod over anyone who gets in his way. That's why I kind of think of this as the crazy driver, you know, the crazy Uber driver. So focus is going to be important here, Leo, not to become too extreme. You can test this by asking yourself some questions. Is it really the need for a desperate act? Because I feel with the Hanged Man here, it could be that you need to take a pause before doing anything here. If you go into this kind of obsessive kind of, like if you want to kind of backtrack, go back in time, redo things, but it could come across as making matters worse. Yeah, I do get an energy here of being pulled as well. Rather than you being in control of this chariot, you feel like you're being pulled perhaps in opposing directions by very different goals, very different ideas, very different paths. Of course, you need to sacrifice one of them. You can't go down both of these paths. That's what's creating this kind of energy. You can't stay in the middle either. I feel that you've got to take one of these roads. You've got to make a choice and then stick to it. So this could be an energy here of going backwards and forwards, thinking you've made a choice and then thinking, well, maybe I should have gone with the other choice. Now, if you make a choice, you have to stick with the choice here, Leo. You can't really chop and change, because that creates this dark chariot energy, and it's not healthy. And for you, I feel it's about getting the necessary balance right in your life. Losing your way. There is a sense here of losing your way. Now, Leo, let's see what your advice is. I'll get one from angels, gods, and goddesses. What is the advice here for Leo? The advice for Leo, please, for September. Advice for Leo. What do you have? The goddess of knowledge. Start to apply what you already know and trust your intuition. Well, with the chariot here in its darker energy, this is about just completely doing things without being intuitively guided. Not taking the time to rest, pause, to think. I just feel like here, Leo, you really need to kind of calm down and get in touch with your inner self here. It feels like you need to find some peace. So when it comes to these thoughts, with the Nine of Swords, it may be that these thoughts are creating a lack of sleep, which could, of course, create difficulties with this chariot energy. And of course, the obvious thing with that is the need to be careful while driving. I mean, that's a very literal interpretation, but I have to put that out. If you're not sleeping and then you're driving, that can create difficulties. So be mindful of that. That's just for some of you, but yeah, I think you just have to trust that inner knowing. Trust that inner knowing. So what is your gut telling you about this situation? I feel like it's telling you something important here with this goddess of knowledge. We have this woman here. She is, her third eye is being ignited by this flame up here. She's also got this kind of glowing, I'm going to call it a water ball here, and that feels like being in touch with spirit. It feels like being in the flow. I'm also getting a Hanged Man energy around this as well when I'm looking at this light around this person's head. Same deal with the Hanged Man. So I think that here spirit's forcing you to kind of get uncomfortable, taking you out of maybe stagnancy, or upsetting the apple cart for you so that you can get uncomfortable for a little while, so you can reach this time where you start to see things a different way, gain knowledge, understanding, comprehend more of what you're being guided towards. So it feels like that. It feels very Hanged Man energy. It's something that you're meant to go through so that you can gain this enlightenment. this knowledge, this understanding. I think that at the moment here, Leo, you really just have to go with the flow. I don't feel that you can control the situation. See, the chariot here is someone who wants to control something they can't control. I feel that you really just have to let go of the reins here and stop trying to control the situation. Just let it happen. Just let it happen naturally with that Hanged Man. It is about surrendering to what is, surrendering to a pause, surrendering to things happening at a later time. So it feels like that. It feels like the knowledge that you need, Leo, is to release control, surrender to the lesson that you need to learn right now, gain this knowledge, and then regroup. Let's see. I'm going to get a card from the Cat Wisdom Oracle. Message for Leo. What does Leo need to hear, please, Spirit Guides? What does Leo need to hear? Message for Leo. I just feel that you're trying to control something that you want to take back, and it's creating a lot of problems here. Mental disturbances, anguish, anxiety, stress. But if you can let go of trying to control this, I feel that will alleviate the stress around you. Now we've got Joker and Wildcat. You know, I had this come out for another sign. I'm trying to think which one it was. It was either Taurus or I think it was Taurus. We had these exact same cards. We've got Joker and Wildcat. Wildcat is about you never know what's lurking. Joker is stir it up. Interesting. You know, when we look at these two cards, the energy that I'm getting around that is kind of being ready with that wildcat energy. When you think of a wildcat, well, they just kind of, they don't take sudden moves, do they, until they're really ready. They really are quite stealthy, quiet, observing, until they're ready to pounce, so to speak. So when we talk about the wildcat, let's take a look at him. It feels to me like singular purpose, being totally invested in a specific outcome. That wildcat's focus is on its prey. So it seems like you've got something in mind here. There's a goal. It could be a thing, it could be a person. But of course, the wildcat, well, he has to be prepared to make deviations. So I feel like the singular purpose here, you have to be prepared for the unexpected. I do think that you need to be patient, observant, and as ready as you can be for what may come in the future without like this singular focus. By examining patterns of your past thinking or behaviour that may have led you down an unpleasant or unproductive path, you can allow for something new to emerge. Then you'll be poised for something better. So yeah, getting yourself back on track. Yeah. It feels like that you had some kind of plan. You may have had some kind of thing that you were working towards, or person that you were working towards, but you may not have taken full account of all the factors involved. But you're not supposed to. It feels like control, trying to control by having this plan, and you were on this course here, Leo, but something went. It didn't go your way, something that you couldn't control. Now, when we talk about Joker, that's an interesting energy. Because I think that for you, your best case scenario here is to get back in touch with laughter, with your humorous side. It feels like you've been so singularly caught up in whatever this is. You may have lost touch with enjoying life, with laughter. So you may have been holding back. So what can you do to allow more kind of unpredictability in your life? Yeah, it feels to me like more play kind of energy, not being singularly focused on that one thing, but when you think of the Joker, this reminds me of the Cheshire Cat, that kind of energy. And so when we talk about that, it could have been like something that you were trying to manipulate an outcome, but you weren't factoring in something. That's just for some of you, not for all of you, but I do get that. It may be that somebody else stirred the pot here. There may have been a stirring of the pot. Maybe you stirred the pot, but we'll see where that goes. But that's the energy that I'm picking up there. Now let's see the other person that you're dealing with. What is the energy around the person that you're dealing with? Okay, we've got Arwen. Gift, divine inspiration, and awakening. So it seems like this other person that you're dealing with is more of a higher vibrational energy. That may be the thing that you weren't counting on with this person. Arwen translates to divine inspiration or flowing breath. And it provides a surge in newfound knowledge, inspired thought, the ability to awaken, and definitely an energy here of someone with some kind of spiritual gift. So there's a feeling around this of once you've experienced this kind of energy, it's kind of like lifting the veil, if you will. Think of it as like the high priestess. Once you've experienced this kind of energy, you cannot pretend to have not experienced it. You can't go back and say, well, that didn't happen. It did. It did happen. So lifting that veil, seeing that energy around this person, you have drunk this, you've kind of drunk in this person, if you will. You've experienced this person in some way. And now you have the knowledge of this person, something that you've experienced that has changed you. And you can't really go back. It is that kind of life-changing experience with this particular person. And it's very, it feels alive, it feels inspirational. It's not an easy energy, but it is one that is full of very deep connection, emotional connection, true connection. A beautiful experience, a joyful moment. Yeah. So there is a good energy around this. It's experiencing joy. It's experiencing joy with this person. So you've had some kind of experience with this individual, Leo, but I feel that there's something here that happened with this person that you now regret. Now, it could have been that you tried to manipulate the situation, to stir it up, but something happened here. I feel that you were taking a non-spiritual approach to a spiritual connection, is what these cards are speaking to me about. Yeah, rather you should have taken more of a natural flow, let it happen as it was, rather than trying to manipulate something here, Leo. So let's take a look. I want to get a card from the Quantum Oracle. What is your focus when it comes to this particular person? Leo's focus when it comes to this particular person. Please, Spirit Guides. What is Leo's? Okay. A consciousness of lack. Okay. That's very Five of Pentacles energy. You're feeling like you've missed out, or that you don't have something, or that you may even feel like you're you don't have enough for this person. It does feel like that sense of perhaps feeling that you don't have what you need, that something is missing. So you'll see this man here, he's leaning rather dejectedly on this heart. His back's turned to the potential here. There's a lot of gold behind him, there's a lot of abundance, good things, but yet he is quite melancholy, brooding, seems somewhat overwhelmed. So this card feels like the energy around you here feels overwhelming. Now it could be that you're feeling the limitations around you. It could be within yourself, or it could be like external, like financial. You might be experiencing something here, Leo, which has provided you with this thought in your head that somehow you're restricted. It could be limitations in love or relationships. And also feelings of loss, frustration, sadness. So the feeling here is of this needing to get out of this lack consciousness. You do feel that something is missing in your life, so it seems like something here that you miss. You may miss this person. Your fear only restricts you further, making you more miserable. And it manifests more limitations, so you have to get out of this kind of mindset. Of course, it's very difficult to focus on something positive when you're lonely or when you have financial troubles, but you have to change some kind of energy around you in order to manifest more abundance in your life. So rather than thinking that something's missing around you or within you, you have to take the steps that you need to resolve that issue that's bothering you, so you don't get stuck there. It's changing the energy around you. Now you could be doing that in ways which includes choosing to value who you are, or even just looking around you and seeing what you have that you're grateful for. Bringing in more of that gratitude and focusing on what you feel is lacking in your life or within yourself, because I feel like a lot of this energy here is self-imposed. You may not feel worthy, or you may feel somehow that this isn't for you. We can get into a mindset sometimes of believing that success, abundance, joy, happiness is for others but not for us. And that sense of this concrete heart tells me that, Leo, you may be not wanting to express emotion. You may be walled off emotionally. There may be a sense here of not making your heart like concrete so that it doesn't get broken, but I do feel here that it's been broken anyway. So the energy around you is needing to change. That's for sure. Now let's see. I'm going to get one more card here and then we'll get some tarot. What is the focus for what should Leo be focusing on, Spirit Guides? What should Leo be focusing on? Forgiveness, redemption, rebirth, regeneration. So you do want forgiveness from this person or for something that you regret doing. And you were looking at rebirth, you're looking at regeneration, starting over. It feels like from a healthier place. Something that you regret doing now, Leo. So let's take a look at the bottom of the deck for you. I've got the 7 of Cups and the Lovers in reverse. So I do feel that this could be in a love relationship. There's been heartbreak and ending. Things are at a standstill for you, Leo. Let's see. How do you feel about this person? We've got the 10 of Swords, 9 of Wands, and the Hanged Man in reverse. So this has ended. It does feel like it has cause you to feel a bit beaten up with that Nine of Wands. We've got the wounded warrior here. So feeling let down, feeling like this hasn't worked out. The Hanged Man in reverse here does tell me, though, that although you're stuck in this kind of energy, you're looking for a way to get out of this. So that's good. It tells me that you being in this uncomfortable position, again, I feel in your life, is making you realize that you need to look at things a different way to make some changes. It feels like necessary sacrifice, something that needs to be sacrificed in your life so you can let love in. Now, it could be this concrete heart situation, not wanting to express emotion or get involved in love relationships because you've been hurt in the past, protecting your heart too much, putting an end to that. Let's see what you like about this connection. Got the Ten of Cups in reverse, the King of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. Logically, I get you seeing that this has a lot of potential for growth. Now we've got this card of regeneration. And it is about realizing with that Ten of Cups in reverse there that logically I think you realize that because you've experienced, or just because you've experienced relationships that haven't gone the distance in the past, doesn't mean that you won't have that in the future. It feels like it feels like, and I really don't like the King of Swords as an energy around you, because I get that that's still that detachment, right? There's still that inability to really express oneself. It feels like a standalone energy. It feels very singular, especially with that Nine of Pentacles. But the good thing that I see around this is that if you look at this card, this woman, she's standing with abundance here. She's got this eagle, which speaks about the higher energy, that higher vibrational energy, spirituality. Behind her is a poverty-stricken figure looking at this tree with no leaves, so lack of growth. So turning the back on a lack of growth and looking instead at something that feels like it's abundant. So abundance. So I do get that logically you look at this as something that is going to be better for you. But the problem that I see around this is that you're still not engaging with how you feel emotionally. So let's see what you don't like about this connection. We've got the Four of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Okay, well, that's that Arwen card, the High Priestess here. It may be that it could be a third party situation. There may be, I get the Three of Pentacles here as perhaps a third wheel. This person may be married, the Four of Wands. Yeah, it feels like some kind of blockage towards I get that if you're to be with this person, you would like to move in with them, or it feels like you're looking for something that is going to be not singular. Joining forces. But again, I get this energy of not feeling, you don't feel like you're up to the task, up to the challenge with that. So you're trying to think about ways in which this can be achieved. So it seems like what you're doing here, Leo, is you're trying to look at the obstacles, and you're seeing several in front of you, not the least of which is I think that this person may already be in some kind of relationship. You're looking at ways in which you can, I just have to say this because this is for some Leos, you could be looking at ways in which you can disturb that kind of relationship, because I've got the Joker here, stirring it up. Okay. Well, yeah, you could be wanting to stir things up with this other person's relationship, perhaps. That's just for some of you, won't be for all of you. Yeah, you definitely don't like that this person is attached somewhere else, or that their focus is somewhere else, or that they may have, they're either living with a partner, or they're living with roommates, or there's something there that you don't like about this person's living space. And you're looking at ways in which you can kind of get this person away from that. And with that dark chariot there, it's a little bit concerning, because I feel like there could be something that you're trying to stir up here, that it feels like a desperate act to try to get things going back in your favor here, Leo. That's just for some of you. So we'll see where this goes in the extended, guys. If this is resonating with you, please do join me there. I'll be looking at what this other person thinks when it comes to you here, Leo, or vice versa if this energy is reversed. And I'll be looking at cards as well for the potential outcome what the future holds in this situation, as well as looking at some more oracles. So please do join me if this one's resonating. Again, the link is down below. It'll be about another 30 or so minute reading. If you'd prefer a personal reading, you can email me, gypsyinsights@gmail.com. I thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do press that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Like, share, subscribe if you're a newcomer. I'd love to have you. Don't forget about my new channel memberships as well. Those are brand new. I'm offering perks at the $4.99 level, and you'll get access to all of my YouTube readings early, including the He Said, She Said readings. And not only will you get early access, but you'll also get them all at the same time, so all the signs, you won't have to wait. Wishing you the best with this, Leo. I'll see you in the extended, or I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye for now, guys.